Hey everyone, welcome to this new series I'm starting on my channel where I'm going to be reading an original scary story every Wednesday. And remember, I also release a top 5 every Monday and Friday, so make sure you subscribe for all this content. I live right next to Navajo Reservation, and I made friends with many of the people there my age. We like to hang out, play video games, and just be normal teens. I walk over there a lot since my best friend lives a little less than a mile away. This isn't a long trek, it usually only takes me about 25 to 30 minutes. I've made this trip dozens of times, and I've grown very comfortable with it. I know the people along the way, so I'm not scared or on the edge. There's a patch of forest, however, about midway there. It's a little unnerving sometimes. There's always that feeling of being watched. This was a regular occurrence for me, so I tried to just ignore it and shake it off, as my mind playing tricks on me. This day, I spent more time at my friend's house than I meant to, and when I left, it was already getting dark. I reached the forest right as the sun disappeared from the sky. I shivered a little, as I readied myself to begin the journey through. I was 10 steps in when I heard a branch snap. You know the sound, the one that screams there's definitely someone or something with you. I froze, not sure what I should do next. Should I run? Should I turn around and book it back to my friend's house? I don't know the best option in this situation. I whispered, "Hello," hearing my voice crack as the words fell from my lips. I didn't know why I even opened my mouth, but it was out there, so I listened for my reply. My heart sank when the answer came back in the sound of my voice. Hello. I started to breathe fast. My heart pounded against my chest. I felt like I might faint. Hello. My voice came again, but not from my mouth. I wanted to run, but my feet cemented to the ground. I couldn't scream. I couldn't reply as my voice echoed over and over from a short distance away. Hello, hello, hello. I couldn't pinpoint exactly where it was coming from. It sounded like everywhere around me. Hello, hello, hello. It repeated. Stop it! I finally managed to tear from my lips. Everything went silent. For a long minute, nothing happened. The air grew stale, and I realized for the first time there's no typical forest sounds. There were no bugs, no frogs, no crickets, nothing. I stood there terrified, waiting to see what would happen next. Stop it! It mimicked back. I'd had enough and was willing my heavy legs to move. Before I could take a step, I heard rustling in the bushes 20 feet to my left. I watched in horror as a deer head with huge antlers protruded through the bush. As it came further out and stood up on twos, I took off. I flew out of those woods and all the way home in record time. I said nothing to my mom when I got there. I just went up to my room, laid down, and thought about what happened. My mother came in at some point and asked me if everything was alright. I replied that yes, I was just tired. I didn't know why I didn't tell her. I guess I might have been afraid of how she would react. I called my friend and told him everything. He freaked out and told me that no matter what happened that night, to not reply or look out my window. This terrified me even more. He said to call him the next morning and he would explain more, and that he had to speak to his grandfather as soon as possible. That night, I didn't sleep at all. I stayed awake listening to every sound the night brought. Around 3 a.m., just as I was about to drift off, the air changed. The night sounds quieted. I felt my heart begin to pound. I lay there and waited, pulling the covers over my head like a child, far too scared to move. It came after a long moment. Hello, I cried. It was all I could do. Hello, stop it, it mocked. What I had said in the woods again. It was terrifying enough when it copied what I said. Then it did something new. It called my name. Amy, 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 come here. For the rest of the night, the creature stood outside my window, called my name in my mother's voice, and repeated what I said in the woods over and over. In the morning, when the sun broke through the dark, it finally stopped. I fell into a fitful sleep. I woke up around 12 to my friend calling me. He had spoken to his grandfather and could explain everything that happened to me. He said there was a creature they called Naldalusha, he who goes on all fours, or Skinwalker, he explained. That it was an evil witch that used dark magic to transform into an animal, and it had caught my scent and knew me now. I was also given a warning that since it knew me, it would always follow me, that I would always have to be careful. Last night I heard scratching on my window, then a low hum. The creature began saying my name again, but also adding in things I hadn't said, in my mother's voice. At one point it started calling my name, but drawing it out really far, like, Amy. It tried to get me outside again, or to open the door and let it right into my house. This went on all night. At some point I felt like I'm going crazy. I didn't know what to do. Is it seriously gonna stalk the shadows around me for the rest of my life? I don't think I can take that.